Okay, Coach Ward, we have, they're going to do some rope climbs here at the C3 Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay, they're doing some pull-ups behind you. What are you looking for in something like this? You know, when you come to recruit, you know what guys can wrestle, right?
Yeah.
What do you look for outside of the wrestling?
I mean, to me, really, it's like the first thing you're looking for is who's here and who's willing to put in work in June and it's hot. The AC's not on in here. You know, who's willing to come out here and grind in the summer when they could be 1,000 other places is the first thing we really look for. And once they're here, you know, how do they learn? Are they coachable? How do they compete when it comes time to go live or in these other kind of competitions that they're doing? But we're looking for guys that, you know, when they're here and it's not easy and it's, you know, kind of drags on, who's still paying attention, who's eager to learn, who's eager to compete. Things that we think translate to being successful at the next level.
You know, I talked to you about your guys. I think they're the elite people, you know, and future leaders, but you're like, hey, they're kids. They're still kids at heart, right?
Right.
Kids are kids, but, you know, what do you guys have to do? You really have an intense process to get people into West Point.
Yeah.
It's a little different. I mean, by a little, I mean a lot.
Yeah.
You know, 4,400 kids. It's the future leaders of America. What kind of kid can you tell here with just a day or two talking to kids that they can be West Point material?
I can usually tell, I mean, we have to do our work to evaluate a kid, and it's more than just wrestling ability. It's more than being good in the classroom. You have to show the potential to be good in the classroom at West Point and to be able to place at the national tournament on the wrestling mat. That's what we're looking for. So I can tell pretty quickly, you know, from looking at a few different things. But the process is different, but probably what surprises most people is how similar it is to some other schools. You know, we have things we do in a different way, but it's not all that different from some other schools. You know, important thing for us is we're able to recruit kids that know they're going to be surrounded by some of the best people in the country, whether they're their instructors, their mentors around, their classmates, their teammates. They're going to be surrounded by some pretty incredible people. So we have a lot to offer in that way.
Can I correct you? Best people in the world. We have the most superior military in the history of the planet Earth. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, right.
The history of humanity, and you guys are the pinnacle of that.
No doubt.
You're producing the leaders for that. Now, you know, when we're looking at something like this, you know, your guys, they got to be ready to go. Everybody's got to be
right.
You know, beyond the wrestling. It's pretty mentally challenging what you guys do.
That's right.
It's regimented 24/7 for them, you know, through the year.
Yeah.
They get a little time off in the summer, but
yeah, for sure.
It's pretty regimented.
Yeah.
It's different, but also I was talking to Stephanie Frontwell. You guys are one of the top 15 schools, you know, on the planet Earth.
Right. Yeah.
8 Ivy Leagues, Stanford, and then you and the 3 service academies.
Yeah, for
There's
sure.
no question. When you're offering that and you step into somebody's living room, is that a pretty easy sell for you?
I mean, you can always feel comfortable telling the truth about West Point. You know, it's like you don't have to get creative and try to convince somebody that you have a really good English department. You know, everything about the academy is some of the best in the country, if not the best in the world. So you can always feel really comfortable telling the truth about the academy and the people that are there because, I mean, the history and the track record speaks for itself. Our graduates speak for themselves. We always say, listen, we don't say we're extraordinary because we think that we are. We say we're extraordinary because our graduates do extraordinary things. And that's a message you just can't argue against.
Do people realize that they actually, when they go to West Point, they earn? They don't. They're not. There's no college loans.
That's right, man.
There's none. There's service to give.
Yeah.
Beyond their 4 years, but
Yeah.
do they realize that? Do they realize the benefits of that education on top of what they're getting paid?
If they listen to you, they will. But yeah, you're right. It's like, you know, you get paid every month that you go to school there, and yeah, you're right. There's a part of it when you leave, you have a job right away. So you're guaranteed a job for at least the next 5 years or as long as you want it. That's an important part of our message because that matters. I mean, hey, let's face it, you know, most kids are trying to go to college, and a college degree now maybe doesn't mean what it did 20 years ago. So what are you going to be able to do to make yourself differentiate yourself, more marketable when you graduate? A West Point degree is going to do it.
You know, I look at it, there's challenges, no doubt, getting guys in, you know, that's definitely a challenge, but you guys have a process where you can actually, you can get people in. Is it Rhode Island for you guys, or is that's Naval Academy?
Yeah, that's the other
You guys is right there. Yours is right there.
Right there, yeah.
So your prep school's right there.
It's like 2 miles from our wrestling room, our prep school is. Yeah, so there's a process to get somebody in. I mean, listen, yeah, it's restrictive, and we have to be selective in who we recruit, and that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing, but the last 2 years, our recruiting classes have been ranked in the top 20 in the country by multiple outlets. You can't do that without support from your administration and support from the school to bring in people that you say, hey, this person's going to be successful, not just in the classroom, not just on the mat, they're going to make West Point proud when they graduate. And by the way, they're going to be an All-American while they're here on the wrestling mat. So we're able to do that. We have some support, so we're able to bring in some recruits that, pretty high-ranking recruiting classes that we think are going to be able to produce.
Speaking of All-Americans, you guys were right there. You're knocking on the door this year.
That's right.
You're right there. You're still looking for your first All-American there.
Yeah.
At West Point for you as a head coach,
for me.
but
Yeah.
you're right there, man. The guy runs in a Bo Jordan in the round of 12-174.
Yeah.
Kay Wood,
Yeah.
we're talking about. He's a Toledo guy. I'm
That's
a Toledo
right.
guy. So
Yeah.
talking to you, and I know a lot of these guys. They're pretty tough, and you got guys.
Yeah.
And everybody's back.
Well, here's the exciting thing is all 3 of our qualifiers this year that are coming back, they all beat somebody ranked inside the top 10 at the national tournament this year. Luke Weiland also beat guys who beat him earlier in the year. I think he beat the 10 seed, goes to the round of 16. Ben Harvey, he got beat by a 4-time All-American in the round of 12. It just kind of sucks. He had a hell of a tournament and, lost that match. But, those guys have 2 more years. Kay Wood's got another year, and we've got some young guys who are really chomping at the bit to get going that we think are going to be really competitive right out of the gate. So, we're looking for my first, as a head coach, first All-American at West Point, and we're really not that far away from making it happen.
I saw it. I was in Cleveland, man. You guys are right there.
Yeah, I feel like it.
I like what's coming back. So, all right. What are you looking for in a guy doing pull-ups right now? There's a guy doing pull-ups right behind you. What would you be looking for in something like that?
Just keep going, man. I don't know if I could pull up after all that drilling and wrestling. Somebody that's just trying. At this point, effort means a whole lot.
Effort means a whole lot.
Man. Get back on the rope and try it. Yeah.
And the pull-ups, too, behind you.
Oh, they're pulling up, too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I want to see the guy that falls off the pull-up bar. He's trying so many, he can't even hold on anymore. So that may be all of them right now. I don't know, but just keep pulling, man. That's what we want.
You can do any live wrestling?
Yeah, if you will.
All right, I'll get my shoes on.